officially over. Conflict over and protests over taxes, corporations, port duties, Navy requisitions, trade, and customs policies were quite frequent. Probably too big. A diplo-vassal, probably too big. I can certainly work toward that and see if we can even get our relations high enough to do it. Let's see, we've got +3 in improved relations. 97 would put me at 7 points shy of being able to do it. We have no negative penalties, so yeah, I don't have the ability to raise my, well, I guess I do. Sending them a gift would trigger it, tip them. Military alliance relation of 190 and must be at peace. Yeah, no. Too many negatives there. Tax base negative, military power negative, yeah. Probably can't get the relationships tipped enough to cover it. But they are allied with me and they are rivaled with Quito, so they would support me in a war more often than not. Okay, that put my inflation up over 10%. That's ugly. Yearly inflation reduction. I need to hire him as soon as I can and start getting that that inflation back down. He'd cost me 1.6 a month, which would leave me gaining 1 a month. You know what? At this point, it was actually worth, as much as useful as he is, it would be worth swapping him out for the inflation reduction, and I would still maintain an income of 2 a month. Okay, civil wars in the Andes Mountains are extremely painful. Hint to anybody trying out this achievement: be very careful about when you enact those religious reforms. Now, the good news is we are at tech level 3 across the board, and we are actually approaching tech level 4 in military. And if we take a look at our neighbors, I doubt anybody else has a 3 yet. 222. Oh, there's a 223. There's a 123. So there's a couple with at least a 3 in one category. There's a 233. Lima. Wow. Lima's catching up. 344 leader. 232. So there's a couple with a 3. I was wrong. But we're about ready to get our first tech level 4. So we're still out ahead of the pack. Completely dump my maintenance. These are all standing troops, right? I have no mercs. I have no mercs. Okay. So my standing army is as strong as, almost as strong as any of my neighbors anyway. There's a couple with 7,000 troops there, it looks like. But my manpower, of course, is going to take forever to recover. Forever being about 8 years. Okay, let's start reducing our inflation a little bit here. Because that's the other thing is, every loan I took out made those mercenaries cost just a little bit more to hire and maintain. I could spend some administrative power to reduce it manually, but I'm going to hold off on that. I'm not building, I don't have the ability to build any buildings yet except for a couple forts. Let's see, everything's cored. Make sure I didn't miss something there. Yeah, forts are the only building that I have the capability to build yet, so it's not like I'm spending a lot of money on anything. So I'm not going to spend all my power to just reduce inflation. Wow, look at that gulf between my Diplo power and my admin power. Where did all my Diplo power go? Oh, wait. That's a factor of my leader primarily, isn't it? It is. 536. Okay. What's my air look like? 514. So my Diplo power is not going to gain any ground either, which is going to be painful because if I'm going to take expansion ideas, for going cross country here, or exploration, I guess it is, to get those colonists available, that's Diplo power, and I don't have the Diplo power. And I don't have an air coming up with Diplo power either. Is there anything else in this save that can go wrong? I need to ditch. I need somebody to die here. I've been waiting for one of these marriages to end. Maybe I should just go on the attack here. Not that I can afford it. Okay, we're up to almost 2 3/4 income a month again. Inflation 10.28. Rebel factions aren't growing any. They're stuck at 60%. Unrest is dropping. Yeah, I think the route to go is going to be when I'm at the point where I'm able to war deck Lima to take Juarez, which I have a claim on, and we'll take. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that Pampa. I'll pronounce it Pampa at the same time. That will allow me to fabricate a claim on Cajamarca and take them out, and then take Quito out, and that will be that. I've got to wait at least until my manpower has recovered, if nothing else. Yep, I won't be able to vassalize them. Again, too many negatives there. I might be able to. No, we can't get even an alliance with them. I could get an alliance with Cajamarca. Could I vassalize them? I don't want to vassalize them though. I actually want that as a territory. Although I probably could vassalize them. Once they're vassalized, how long would it take me to Diplo annex them? A long time. Of course, the other side of that is I already have too many diplomatic relations. It's costing me a point. If it wasn't such a big hit at a bad time, I would just break one of these marriages. Neither of them are allies. Oh, that's only a prestige one. I thought there was a stability hit for breaking a royal marriage. I'm sure there's a hit for that, isn't there? Can't be just a 1-point prestige hit. Huh. Well, I'm not ready to trigger a war yet, so I'm not going to take that chance. I have to check the forums and see if they made a change that I missed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is. I'm checking the patch notes and see if they made a change that maybe I missed here. Might have something to do. Breaking a royal marriage with a rival is no longer a stability hit. Aha, and they are a rival. Okay. Bingo. Which means if I try to break a royal marriage over here, it probably would show a hit. Because I don't think they're a rival. Well, maybe they are a rival as well. Rivals are Pakaha. Yeah, they're a rival as well. Okay. These guys aren't a rival. Yep, there's the stability hit. Okay. That fixes my too many relations problem. That'll give me an extra 12 points a year. And we're just about ready to get our first Tech 4. Another month or two, I think. Yep, another month. Need 1498. Inflation is gone up. How has it gone up? It says it's is increased by 0.07 from our reliance on gold and by minus 0.1. It went from 1028 to 1055. How'd that happen? It's supposed to be going down by 0.03 a year. Did I miss a loan repayment? I bet I did. That's the only reason I can think of it for it to go up. There's our tech. Okay, military tactics, land morale, and can build an armory. Well, that'll be useful. Or it would be useful if I had any money. King's reputation tarnished. Some sort of propaganda text is circulating in the court about how Tupac Yupanaki is a ruthless powermonger. Oh, I don't want to lose 100 diplomatic power. That is too costly. I can much more afford the administrative power to raise my stability if I decide I need to than the 100 diplomatic power. So I'll take the stability hit. And that hasn't changed our unrest yet. Let's keep an eye on this unrest as the month ticks over here. Okay, so that didn't affect our unrest any. That's good. Rebel factions still aren't gaining or losing any. Let's see, I still can't repay a loan yet. How many loans do I have left? 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 loans still. Oh, D. It says it up at the top. I missed that. It's the first time I've ever seen that. Probably because I tend not to rely on loans as much as possible. We're going, our inflation is still going up. What the heck? I know I didn't miss a loan that time. Damn it. Or is it just not giving me a pop-up? 1 July 89 is my next loan due, so I'll be able to repay that. We've got 2 due in 1 July 89. Will I have 34 by then? Probably not. So yeah, that's what's going on, is some of these loans are coming due, and I'm unable to repay them, which is pushing inflation up. Well, I'll eventually catch up on the loans, I think, maybe. Could reduce it by 2. 75 power. 75 power is 8 months worth. Nah, I'm just gonna let it go for now. Again, I'm not building anything yet, so it's not costing me anything to not build anything. Up to a 138. Oh, we don't have a royal marriage with them yet either. So we could maybe, well, we still won't be able to overcome all of the negatives for this relative sizes. Still paying 1.18 a month in interest, so we'll be back to about 4 a month once we get all our loans repaid. Seems a little low. Seems to me we were getting almost five a month before, and that was with max army maintenance. So where's all our money gone? Oh, we're not getting war reparations anymore. That's one loss of income. April, May, June, July, 4 times 2.5, 10. We're not going to be able to meet this next one, so our inflation's about ready to take another hit, I think. They won't ally with me. You know what? Despite all this territory, we still have no naval access. Hey, our manpower's up to almost, well, not quite a half, I guess. We still got a ways to go there, too, it looks like. Oh, rebel factions have both increased by 10%, up to 70%. Unrest is now gone from... was it Chiquibo? And we're down to 6.4 and 4% in the 2 recently occupied territories. $10.63 inflation. Said we're not going to be able to repay this next loan when it's due, which is going to give us another hit to the inflation. How is some of the later ones, are some of the later loans cheaper than the earlier loans? That seems backwards. In fact, they're mixed. 17, 17, 19, 19, 17, 17. How did my loan sizes vary by that much from month to month? It's supposed to be based on your tax base, your loan size. Yep, there was our inflation hit. We're back up to 1073. 19 loans. And we're only able to repay about just about 3 loans a year, so we're talking about 10 years of loan repayments at this rate. Okay, I might have to go to war just to get some money to repay those loans, so that I can take more loans to repay. Yeah, right. Lima. You are allied with Quito, Cajamarca, and Charca. Charca, Cajamarca, and Quito. If I were to declare war on you, Chimu would not join me, and all of your allies would join you. Why would Chimu not join me? Attitude towards enemies. So he likes them too much to go to war with them. Well, that's not good. And I can't fabricate a claim on him. I guess I might go for the Diplo-Annex route for these guys. I can get the alliance with them. And I think it's close enough that I could probably vassalize them. But we're talking at least 10 years after that happens before I can Diplo-Annex them, which means... yeah, let's go for it. I've got 10 years to recover from loans, right? That's going to give me another hit here, which means I need to go ahead and break my marriage here. Which puts me back at the proper number of diplomatic relations. Okay, now I have an alliance with Cajamarca. We will work on improving relations with them. And we should be able to vassalize them here in a short while as well. That'll isolate Lima and Quito, and should allow me to get the mission despite being in debt, or at least the first stage of the mission, forming the Incan nation, despite being in debt and at half manpower. It's just going to take some time for that all to happen. Okay, let's repay that loan. Is that down to 18 loans? Hey, we're up to 2 3/4 a month. Inflation's up to 10.82. It's going the wrong way. Interest is down to 1.07 anyway. Yeah, 18 loans left. How am I planning on colonizing? Good question. But I have to if I'm going to complete the achievement, because I have to own all of South America. So, actually, my economy really, once I am back to full strength, my economy was solid before that civil war. I was making 5 income a month with full army maintenance. So, now some of that was because I was getting war reparations. And some of it was I was getting trade power fundled to me as well. By the time I can form the Incan nation, which will be about the earliest I can even think about colonizing anyway, I'm hoping my economy is back on track. The reason I'm so bad in debt is I enacted one of my religious reforms, and that triggered a civil war, and we found out that fighting a civil war in the Andes Mountains is extremely painful. I think we went into debt 25 loans during that war because I was relying on mercenaries. Part of that was personal choice. The civil war was triggered when I was at like 1/3 of my max manpower, and I wanted to preserve as much of my manpower as possible. So I've relied heavily on mercenaries during that civil war. And yeah, it was just painful because every territory I had to fight, I had to chase down the rebel armies, was mountainous. and fighting that kind of war in the mountains was just absolutely devastating. So hopefully the economy will fix itself here over the course of the next few years. Again, I'm going to have some vassal income here shortly as well, I suspect, which will help out a little bit. I still need to take Cajamarca and Quito to form the Incan nation, which is the first stage of the achievement that I'm after. Now, I do have ready rivals down here. Let's see, who are you allied with? Calchaki and Ichma. So I do have, once my manpower is recovered, and it's at 50% now, once my manpower is recovered, I can consider attacking these for, to get some income, basically. Yeah, I started that civil war with 200 gold in reserve. I think I had 4,000 man standing army and 7,000 or 8,000 mercenary army. After I hired the mercenaries, I still had over 120 gold in reserve, and it cost me all of that plus, like I said, 20 some odd loans, just because I was fighting, and it wasn't that big of a civil war. There was a 7,000 man stack, a 9,000 man stack, and an 11,000 man stack to start the civil war of enemy troops. So I outnumbered him 7, 9, 16, 20, 16, and 11, 27,000 men. Now, I didn't outnumber him in total, but I outnumbered any individual army that he had. But it was just the fact that every territory is mountainous, except for Quito. It was just extremely painful to fight that war. So I'm going to have to be very careful about triggering my next reform, religious reform. The bourgeoisie class has grown increasingly resentful of the power of the noble families, and particularly the lack of opportunity. Yeah, we've seen this before. We'll lose the administrative power. I can't afford to lose the diplo power right now. Now, the other thing is, I need to get expansion because I have to own all of South America to complete the achievement. And I had been thinking that the expansion or exploration idea group was going to be the first one that I took, but it is right now my weakest power income as well. So I might have to rethink that, because not only is my current ruler weak in diplomacy, he's a 536. My heir is a 514, so even the upcoming ruler isn't going to improve my diplo power income. So I might have to rethink my initial idea group. Right now my military is out in front. He's already at tech level 4. But I might go ahead, lose 1 stability and lose 5 inflation. That would be useful. Or lose 5 prestige. Losing 5 inflation. If I were building anything right now, that would be an immediate yes. But do I want to spend that much of my administrative power? How much does it cost? 101, almost a year's worth of administrative power. No, if I were buying a lot of things, I probably would go with the inflation reduction. That's a prestige hit too. 5 points of prestige. Yeah, we'll take the inflation reduction. Take the stability hit and we'll just boost it right back up. 1 year's worth of administrative power. Uh-oh, we've got a new provincial unrest in Huanacavica. Why do you have unrest? Nationalism, autonomy decreased. Oh, hey, we have a war request. Conquest of Chicas. Let's see. Kalchaki is these guys. Pause. Against Pacajes. Yeah, we can do this. We can use this opportunity to raise war taxes, and we'll bump our unit. We're still gaining 2 a month by doing this. I really don't want to lose that alliance. And since I can do it and still keep making loan repayments, and my war weariness was 0, I can afford to do this. Is this against both nations here? Nope, it's just against them. The other thing is I might be able to separate piece out and get some money out of this. It's a single nation war. So I must have had a modifier which gave me a positive unrest modifier here, because I didn't lose anything. And it jumped to a -3. It's only -3, so it's not huge. Keep an eye on those rebel factions. I will put them down if I need to. And of course I have a tech advantage here as well, so that'll be useful. That is an allied stack beating the enemy stack, so this is a pretty safe war to be involved in. It's not going to cost us anything. And hey, look, our first vassal's come down as well. Speaking of our first vassal, let's take a look and see if we can vassalize these guys yet. Target country must be at peace. Well, no, we're still at a whole bunch of negatives. We're still improving relations with them. We are. We don't have a royal marriage with them. Let's do that. That'll maybe move it closer to the vassalization here. Yeah, a little bit. We're still 26 points shy. I don't know if we're going to make it far enough. Okay, and it looks like their army was crushed. We will go ahead and detach the siege here and occupy the second territory as well. If we can get a little bit of gold out of this war, so much the better. Okay, our manpower's at over 50% finally, for the first time in, what, 30 years or something like that? And we've broken through the walls. Yep, that's a good point. I didn't see what the big penalty was there. Military power comparison. 23 would put me up to 46, still 16 points shy. The tax base is the perplexing one. His tax base is only 6. My tax base is a heck of a lot bigger. 3, 5, 3, 6, 8, 11, 19, 21, 23, 27, 29, 33. I've got more than 5 times his tax base, yet I get a minus 30 to the relative tax bases. Seems to me I should have much less of a penalty there. Another loan repaid. Down to 15 loans and down to less than 1 gold a month interest. Total debt 274. That's 100 months of debt. Hopefully I'll get some gold out of this peace deal. If I can occupy these 2 territories before he occupies those 2 territories, I'll try for a separate peace deal, including a lot of gold. It's a gold province, isn't it? Nope, that's a grain province. There's a copper province. It's one of the few non-gold metal provinces that I've seen. Copper. Everything else has been gold. Now this siege, the capital siege should be over soon. Speaking of which, capital siege is over. Siege phase is 32 days. I don't think anybody has a 4 yet for military other than myself. Nope, we're the only 4 military power right now. Okay, should be another loan repayment here. If we can get 50 or 60 gold out of a peace settlement. Oh, he's assaulting, assaulting this one here. Looks like he'll succeed there, so he's going to, we do need to build a couple more forts, too, at some key locations. Right now, the only place we have the, Tech 2 fort in, or Tech 3 fort in, I guess it is the capital of Cusco. Need the same die roll next siege phase, and we'll end this. And he's broken through the walls down in the second territory too. I don't know how it is the AI always gets these wall breaks early. I I'm still trying to bust through a wall here in a place that has no real wall for level 1. And there's the second siege done for the AI. He's going to peace out before I get anything, isn't he? There we go. Oh, yep, he did. He peaced out. Damn you! Couldn't wait until I completed my siege so I could separate peace and get a little bit of gold. Don't suppose you want to transfer any trade power to me, do you? And that is no longer a valid rival for me. Of course it isn't. I have no valid rivals other than Charka. Well, Charka, guess what? Before he expands any more in that direction, I'm going to expand to the south a little bit, it looks like. Well, let's see. If you're not a rival, I could possibly try to vassalize these guys. I can't. I don't have the relationship, number of relationships I need to be able to do that. Darn it. We're at 159. We're still at, yeah, minus 38 in the vassalage area. I don't think that that is going to happen. Even if I increase my military, it's too many points to overcome. Friendly attitude, diplomatic reputation, royal marriage. Is there anything else that I could do to push that over the top? I don't think there is. Now, let's take a look over here. What would happen if I were to war deck now? Nope. They would not join me because they're allied to them. In fact, okay, you're allied to me, so you wouldn't join me against them, but you would join them against me. Yeah. Bastards. Rebel factions are holding steady at 70%. So I can repay another loan. Conflict and protest over taxes. Yeah. Reduce the trade investment or get rid of the troublemakers. Lose 2.5 mercantilism. Again, I don't want to lose diplomatic power, but 2.5 mercantilism. I'll take the diplomatic hit, I think, in this case. 8.5 months worth of diplomatic power down. But I don't think I want to lose that much provincial trade power by losing the mercantilism. That's a long-term negative income to do that. Now, let's see, your arrival here. I can't fabricate a claim, however, because there's no adjacent territories. And I can't just declare war. I have no CB. Well, I'm kind of at a standstill for a bit. War exhaustion is 0. Okay. That's good. Unrest is down to 4, 3, and 2. That's not changing that quickly, but it's not going up at least. Down to a baker's dozen worth of loans. Uh, wonder why they're not a valid rival. You'd think they'd be a valid rival now if these guys were at 4 territory. Oh, we're not bordering. Never mind. Now, trying to vassalize these guys might have been the wrong thing to do, because it doesn't look like I am going to manage to succeed in vassalizing them. But we'll find out. Our manpower's up to 70%. I think I'm going to go. Oh, I can't hire any more troops yet. I still need to repay loans. Hey, we're up to a full 3 income a month now. That's gone up a little bit. Oh, because we're spending less on our advisor a little bit. Loans, 221. It's still 4 years worth of loans. By the time we repay those loans, we will have our new tech, admin tech, and our first national idea. Oh, and they want me to spend money, don't they? Word has reached us that a local chief in Chuquibo has begun to construct an ambitious new temple for the main Huaca god of his tribe. As is often the case, this Huaca also happens to be a mummified ancestor of his own lineage. While the chief seems content to acknowledge our authority, it is hard to shake the notion that he is attempting to build a bigger power base for himself in Chiquibo. The priests of in Chiquibo strongly advocate that we remove the Huaca to put this chief in his place. 6 nationalist regiments, or allow the temple to be built. Well, it would give me a local tax modifier, but also 5 years of monthly autonomy. Lose 5 authority. I don't want to fight another battle, so at this point I'm going to go ahead and let him build it. We'll get that extra tax space for a little bit. That little bit of extra autonomy that they're going to get for 5 years isn't going to be huge. Rural factions aren't gaining any strength, but they're also not losing any strength. I think they will when these unrests finally go away. We lost a claim on a Horace. Really? No, we didn't. How dare you? Actually, okay. That's fine. We'll claim Piscuma instead. That will give us our access to Cajamarca if we decide we are going to not end up vassalizing instead. 2-8, 2-3, and 4-3. So the unrest is slowly going away. But nationalism lasts for another 7 years. And then the rest is due to the autonomy decrease. Nationalism, same, and non-accepted culture there as well. We can't do anything about that. We can't change the culture because they're under nationalism, so no big deal. That unrest is slowly going to go away, and with it will go the rest of the rebel factions, I think. Or at least the Chacopoyan Patriots will go away. The peasants are going to continually be a thorn in our side, I think. Going to take me about 2 years to fully recover my manpower still. We're up to 127 a month. $1,200 a year. Yeah, 2 years to fully recover the manpower. In 2 years, we'll have like 60% of our loans paid off, of our remaining loans paid off, that is. We'll also hopefully be down to about a 6 point. Well, we won't be down that low on inflation because we're still got some due to the gold. We're only going down by 0.03 a year. I forgot about the gold income. What are we getting for gold income? 0.89 of our income is from gold. Slightly less than our total trade income at the moment. Repay a loan. Leaves us with 11. We're down below a dozen. We're getting down to single digits. Two, 3, 2, 8, 4, 3. Claim is already 40% complete. Now, if I had money, I could support some rebels in a couple places too, and then move in and clean up the pieces. 2 years we'll have our admin power, we'll have our first idea group. Okay, let's think about idea groups. Since our Diplo is our weakest point, expansion might not be the way to go. Or not expansion, exploration. Expansion, however, also gives us colonists. So I think we'll go with the expansion. Since we have a decent admin ruler, we're getting 9 a month in admin, and our heir is also a decent. It gives us an additional merchant, which won't be immediately useful because there's no other trade nodes that we have available yet. But we might be able to uncover some. So I think rather than exploration, we'll end up going expansion first. I think expansion was what I was thinking, what I was saying early on, but I thought expansion was a Diplo power. It's a admin power instead, so it works out the same. We still get a colonist, and I'm going to make use of those colonists early. One, I'm going to get some naval provinces. We've got all these naval, these sea territories here. Oh, looky there, coastal desert. I think that's one of the new territories, isn't it? I do believe that was they had added 3 or 4 new territory types, land types. Free features. Added 4 new terrain types: drylands, steppes, highlands, and farmlands. Okay, so that isn't even one of the 4 new ones. I just don't remember seeing it before. Okay, I'm going to go grab myself some coffee while these loans are getting ready to be paid off. Oh, we got the Royal Guards event again. Bring in new blood gives us a national unrest penalty, but gives us a morale and discipline bonus, or we can gain 5 prestige. We're going to bring in new blood. And again, I will be back in just a moment. I'm just going to let this play on for a minute. Okay, alarmed nobles. A delegation from one of the finest families in Cusco has approached Tupac Yupacani Hanan, demanding that the new members of the royal guard be sent back to their homes in the provinces. While they are pleased that the institution as such was not changed, they are abhorred by the kind of people that have now have the hereditary right to guard the king. We gain a stability, or we gain authority, and get a stability modifier and advisor cost modifier. You know what? I want that stability bonus. I'm not ready to enact another civil war. Ooh, that's a nice one. A new colonist. No, I'm not thinking about it. I'm just looking at what's available. Yearly legitimacy. Morale of the armies is nice. Core creation costs. That's not bad either. Yeah, I'm not anywhere near ready to enact another reform, so we're going to go ahead with the stability bonus. That should help my income a little bit as well. We're up to 3.5 a month. So you had asked about my economy. As I said earlier, I was at a solid 5 a month income with max army maintenance. Part of that was I was always positive stability, so that will, in fact, for a while I was at +3 stability before that war kicked off. So that was obviously had something to do with the economy, and hopefully will improve as well. Okay, we got the CB against Quito again. Again, I'm not ready to actually trigger this war because we'll be fighting too many and we won't get any of our allies. Although they're getting closer. Their relationship between Chimu and Quito and Lima appears to be deteriorating a little bit. At some point, diplomatic skill, diplomatic reputation. See, now that would be useful to have in some of these instances where I'm trying to get allies in wars. That extra +2 diplomatic reputation might be just enough to trigger vassalage and things like that. So once I get all the loans paid off, especially needing additional diplomatic power, that is something certainly to consider taking if he's still available. I still can't get my vassalization here, and it's not going to get there. Even, again, if I got rid of the -26 for the relative military power, still leaving me 13 points shy. So it looks like vassalization is not an option, so I'm just going to have to go out for the all-out conquest. And we already know that they would join Lima in a war against me if I trigger that war, so that would be an easy way to break the alliance between us two and allow me to conquer him. Again, I still need to take Cajamarca or own Cajamarca as part of the forming the Incan nation as well, so I'd hoped that the Diplo annexation might be a route to do it. It obviously is not. Same thing here. I have no chance of getting a vassalization down here for much worse of reasons, or much bigger gap in the requirements there. Let's repay a loan. We're down to single digits, down to 9 loans. 1494 was a particularly good year due to good harvest. Oh, hey, hallelujah. No, I don't want the power. I want the money. Let's repay 2 loans. We're down to 7 loans. At this rate, we may get all our loans repaid at the same time our manpower is maxed out. It's going to be pretty close. And it'll be about the same time we get our tech level 4 in admin as well. So a whole lot of things going to happen in very short order here, it looks like. Really? You're going to fabricate a claim on me, are you? I can't fabricate a claim back on you because I have no territories next to you other than your capital. Next loan due is 1494. Just came and passed October of 94, so we just gained another inflation point. 7.08 now. We will end this series of loans at right around 7.0 inflation. So despite lowering it by 5 points a little bit ago, it's gone right back up because of all of those loans. Inability to repay those loans in a timely manner, as a point of fact. But we're up to 3 3/4 a month. We'll be up to 4 a month once we lose all of the interest fees. And we will be needing to look at expanding here in very short order here, which means increasing my army. What is my max army at now? 15. I can have 15,000 man army. So as soon as these loans are repaid, I'm going to build another 6,000 man army at least. And let's see, we're facing 6,000, 12,000. He's probably got about 6,000 man army there as well. I would have 12,000, 13,000 for me. Would anybody else join me? I forgot. Nope. Oh yeah, they would join me actually, but the fact that they're so far away, I don't think they'd actually be able to get through with their army. They might be able to get up here and support me. The good thing is I could probably attack them in pieces. I could destroy the Lehman army here before they got down to support, and certainly before these guys got down to support. And I have a tech advantage as well. Mountains, mountains, mountains. They're all mountains. Of course they're all mountains. My tech advantage isn't as much of a use in those areas. At least the tactics advantage is. The width bonus is almost useless in the mountains. Welcome, Lucky Phoenix. So this is, as I mentioned earlier on, this is an attempt at the Sun God achievement. We're getting fairly close to getting the first stage of the achievement realized. There's 3 phases of the achievement. The first is to form the Inca nation. I still need to take Cajamarca and then either Quito or Chanchan to form the Inca nation. The second phase is to westernize, and obviously that's not too difficult to do. Obviously I still need to find the presumably the Portuguese here in South America to be able to do that. The third is going to be the most difficult, and that is to own all of South America, and that's going to be extremely difficult, but we'll have to see what we can do. We are now 51 years into the game. We are just about ready to get our first idea group. We're just a matter of a couple months away, actually, from that. Three or 4 months, it looks like. And actually, getting a couple colonies down and settled would improve my tax base enough that it might trigger some of these vassalizations as well, allow me to vassalize some of these if I get some decent tax base territories. out of these random territories. And now there's something to consider as well. If I actually were able to, if I were to colonize here, I would then be able to form a claim against Quito, fabricate a claim against Quito, and go to war with Quito. Oh, that's something to consider as well. Well, we'll see. We've got a couple months. We'll take a look and see what we look like here. We're down to what, 6 loans or so? 5 loans. Hey, we're almost there as far as loans go. And our manpower's maxed out? Nope, not quite. But close enough. Close enough that I think my next loan isn't due until when? I might actually spend 1,000, spend some July of... Oh yeah, I've got 4 years before my next loan is due. I'm actually going to spend a little bit of this, and the tax base of the northern guy, this, the one that I'm trying to vassalize. Not sure which one you're talking about. Tax base on the northern guy who has a minus. I take it you're talking about the one I'm trying to vassalize. His total tax base is, I think it was 6. 3 and 3 is 6. And as I said, I have a 34 tax base. Or 31 tax base, something like that total. Yeah, his tax base is 6. Okay, let's pause it here. Let's get our tech. And voila, we finally have our first idea group. Again, diplomatic is completely out the window. My military is actually highest right now, but I'm only halfway into that, not that far ahead. And the fact that my current ruler, well, my current ruler has a higher military skill, but my heir has a higher admin skill, and the fact that I'm wanting to expand here leads me to think I am going to be looking at an admin idea. There's nothing that gives me a bonus for fighting in the mountains specifically, or I would take a military idea right off the bat, but I can't think of anything that gives me an immediate bonus for something like that. The best I would do is quality and get the infantry combat ability modifier. We don't get cavalry for another 3 tech levels, so that's out of the way. Yeah, I'm going to go admin. And it's really between 2 things. It's either economic, get the national tax modifier and the build cost modifier, or expansion. And I'm going to go with the expansion. We get the colonist, we get the merchant right away, our first 2. We get a recruitment time bonus later on, diplomatic relation bonus later on. I'm going to go with the expansion. We know that we have to colonize in order to be able to actually occupy all of South America anyway. We're going to have to wait. I obviously can't build a colonist yet. 400 divided by 9. We're talking about 4 years before I can actually get my first colonist. So we're not quite there yet, but we're moving in the right direction in that regard. We're going to go ahead and, since we have 4 years till our next loan is due, I'm going to go ahead and spend a little bit of this money. We'll keep that manpower right around the 12,000 mark until I build my standing army up to about 12,000 men. and then we will look at our invasion of Ichma, Lima, and see what we can do there. I might even throw a little revolt at them before I actually invade Lima. Save a little bit of money and do that. The young men and women of Huancavelica. This is the marriage one, right? Yep. Gain 5 authority and gain a little bit of local unrest. 5 years worth in Huancavelica, where we already have a little bit of unrest there, don't we? Yeah, 0.6 unrest. I can afford 3 points. Or I could lose unrest and local manpower modifier. No, we'll go ahead and do the. We'll gain the authority. I want to move these guys up to my capital. And if I had the money, I'd build a fort here in Chiquibo as well, since these guys are thinking they're going to be fabricating a claim up there. We still have a 36-point gap there. Halfway to the next Civil War. Yeah. I'm not quite ready to go that route yet. Although I'm in a much better position now than I was before that, with virtually or close to a max manpower. I'm not quite ready to go that route. I think I want to get some more of this territory nailed down first. I'm not sure what I would take as my next reform. The colonists would be useful. The morale of armies would be useful. So it would be one or the other of those. It probably will depend on what is going on at the point I make that next reform. I'm not sure that having too many colonists is going to be useful. Somebody did already mention the economy issues that I have. And what I really need is to build a navy. But I don't think I can build a navy. Well, I can't build a navy. I have no port provinces yet. So that's issue number one. But I also think there's a thing in this latest patch that prevents me from building a navy. Let me pull up those patch notes again and see what you all think about what this says. See if I can find it again. Primitive technology. Primitives is no longer based on religion, but rather on all countries with a tech group penalty of 100% or slower. So my tech penalty is 150%, so I'm considered a primitive. Primitive tech groups are no longer allowed to build ships, which means if you're starting as any of these, the African nations or the South American, North American, until you westernize, you can't build a single ship. If I'm reading that correctly, that's the case. Which is really a pain for trying some of the achievements out. What is the Japanese tech group modifier? Aren't they like at a minus 150 as well? How do you play as Japan if you can't build ships? Or any of the Indonesians for that matter. Oh, we have learned about Lake Pupo. We have learned about this little lake buried in the middle of deep in the middle. Oh my God. That's not a lake, that's a crater. We've just learned of that little territory down there in the depths. Okay, let's go ahead and repay one of them. And let us build one of them. It'll give me a 9,000 man standing army. Still at 90% manpower. And 3 loans. Well, with the generous liberties we have granted our merchants, we have ended up with a situation where people simply don't want to do honest work anymore. Yeah, right. Uh-oh, I see a rebel. Rebels. Pajakan peasants. They're no longer a rival, and we have a truce with them, so declaring war on them is not an option. Construction of a temple. Another temple. This one is in the province of Puno. Oh wait, this is something else, I think. The people of the province of Puno are divided and worship various local Huaca gods. It has therefore been decided that a great temple of Inti should be constructed here as a natural center for the spiritual and administrative life of the region. The leader of the construction has presented Tupac Yapakani Haran with 2 different plans for the temple. The first plan is to construct a temple at a Tinki, the sacred confluence of 2 streams, while the other plan calls for making use of an old Huaca shrine as the base of the new temple. I can gain 5 authority and a temple at the cost of 60 ducats, which would mean another couple loans, or I could lose a couple loans anyway, but gain a temple and lose 5 authority. We're going to go with the cheaper method. We get a temple in either case, but that's only like 2 loans there. And we have a temple in Puno now. Is not quite a free temple, but since I don't have the ability to build temples yet, it's useful, which is a tax income bonus. So tax base is 2. It'll cost us a couple loans, but we're down to 2 loans. Were we down to 2 loans? Oh, no, we were down to 4 loans. And that's going to cost us 2 more loans, I think. We might squeak in with just 1 loan, but I think it's going to be 2 loans. Yeah, 2 loans. So we're back up to 6 loans. And back up to a 7% inflation. 7.5%. But we don't have any loans due for a bit, so we'll be able to get these paid off in short order. Total debt is 114 at 3.5 a month, 7 every 2 months, 42 a year. So we're talking a little over 2 years to repay all of those loans still. In the meantime, our admin power is moving up nicely. We're 1/4 of the way of getting our first colonist. Improving relations with us, good. Let's keep an eye on these people here and see if we are going to get any allies yet. We still need the Chimu to join us as a minimum. They're still at minus 28. So I don't think I'm ever going to get the Chimu to join us. Whoa! I haven't been paying attention to that, have I? Peasants without a leader. Okay, we can handle those. We'll let our manpower recover, or our morale recover. And while I'm thinking about it, before these guys rise up as well, we'll get rid of that rebel faction. We're down to unrest in a single province at least. That's these guys here with 1 point of unrest. Nationalism is gone in 3 years as well, so they'll be at a very low level of unrest once those nationalisms are expired. Oh wow, they've already breached the walls. What is it with peasants and breaching walls on these sieges? Oh, hey, for a long time our diplomats have worked on ensuring that our reputation is the best it can be. A curious constellation of events has led to us enjoying an enhanced diplomatic reputation. Nice. An extra 1 point of diplomatic reputation for 5 years. That might be enough to trigger some of these vacillations and alliances. I have to keep an eye on that.